Hi everybody, and thanks so much for tuning into my video. I can't wait to do this simple, everyday glam with you guys, so please just stay tuned. So we're going in with the Chia Seed Moisturizer for normal to dry skin. You guys already know this is my favorite moisturizer, paraben free as well. So we're just going to moisturize our skin and rub it and tap it in all over our face. Next up, I'm going to use the Sugar Advanced Lip Therapy from Fresh. This is really like the silkiest thing you can put on your lips. I'm obsessed with it. We're going to go in with some corrector, and I'm going to use that as my eyeshadow primer. It really is just going to correct any redness that I have on my eyelid area, and it's not as dry as an eyeshadow primer, which is why I like to use more of a corrector or concealer instead. So we're going to go in first with eyeshadow. So I'm using the Juvia's Place Warrior 2 palette. The shadows in this palette are super pigmented. They give a really great color payoff, and they have the colors that I like to use. So I'm really happy to be using this palette today. I like to always go on the outer corners and blend up into my crease area. I like to use warmer shades. It's just my style of makeup. That's what I like. I also have more of a hooded eye shape, so getting it up and above the crease area is where you're really gonna see most of my shadow. So I always like to make sure that I get like high pigment and that I blend really well above the crease area. I'm just gonna go in with a second layer, again outer V, and going upwards into the crease. I like to use soft circular motions, and I'm going to go in with a little bit of more of a red because I want more of a red color on my eyes today. So I'm just going to mix those two colors together to get a nice natural red. I'm just going to blend the burgundy color on top of our orange warmer shade. It's just gonna darken the pigment. I'm using a ponytail brush just to make sure that I get the finish that I like. I love using a ponytail brush. Honestly, it's the only one that I need. So I'm going to go in with the Damn Girl mascara from Too Faced for volume. And for length, I'm going to use the Marc Jacobs Velour mascara. Face-wise, we're going to go in with the Hollywood Flawless Filter from Charlotte Tilbury. I'm obsessed with this stuff, whether I use it just by itself or I use it as a base before makeup. It really isn't a primer, it's a booster. So basically what it's going to do is it's going to add glow to the skin and just blur out any imperfections. You can mix this into your foundation, use it before or after, but again, it's a booster, so it is not a primer. It's going to give your skin a nice dewy finish. You can see that glisten. So today I'm going to use my Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk. I love this foundation. It is one of my holy grail foundations. It just sits very nicely on the skin, wears very well, and looks super natural. It doesn't feel heavy when you wear it. If you have not tried the Luminous Silk, it is worth the money. I'm using the color 4.5. I'm I'm applying it with a foundation brush all over the face. I'm also going to blend that into my neck as well. I'm going to go in with my beauty blender and just make sure that we have a nice even finish and press the product into the skin. I'm using my beauty blender nice and damp. Now we're going to go for under eyes. So I am using the LA Girl Concealer. So I like to use 2 to 3 shades darker in my concealer as my corrector. The orange just kind of gives too much of an orange. Sometimes it can seep through my concealer, so I like to just use a darker shade of concealer. You can see the difference. You really want to put the corrector really underneath the lash line where we have the most discoloration, any redness, and drag it down. I like to use my fingers for this because our fingers are like little sponges, and the warmth of your fingers, of your skin, really heats up the product, blends it really well, and presses it into the skin really well. I'm just going to thin it out and make sure that I use my beauty blender right on top just to get any excess product. I'm going to go in with the Nars Radiant Concealer. This is in the shade Custard. I like to do it in a small triangle shape underneath the eye, and I like to just air dry it a little bit just so it gets thick, so that way we get like a nice coverage. I'm going to use my damp beauty blender just to blend that out. I like to use my finger first, again for the warmth, and then pick up any excess products with the beauty blender. I like to take any excess and just put it on our highlight points on our face. I'm going to go in with my shadows with a smudge brush and really smudge it underneath my eye. I like to use this instead of eyeliner. I have creases under my eyes, so this disguises it really well with making it look natural and not too harsh. I mixed the same 2 colors that I used on my crease and lid, and I'm using that underneath my lash line. I'm going to go in and bake my under eye, so I'm using the Hourglass Veil setting powder. It's talc free, so I'm a huge fan of this. You just have to make sure that when you're done using this setting powder that you brush it off well so you don't get any flashback in any photos. Going in with the Kevyn Aucoin Sculpting Powder. I'm going to use my powder brush for this just to get a really natural finish. I use 2 contour products, so this is my first one. This just gives like a nice shadow, a nice base. I like to blend that into my hairline, on my nose area as well, underneath my chin and jawline just to create that shadow to give a nice slim appearance. I like to make sure I blend it up into the cheekbones, and then we're going to go in with our second contour product. So I'm using the Anastasia Light Medium Contour Palette. I like to mix all 3 shades. I really like to go back and forth. I always go from the top of the ear and blend upwards. This is going to add warmth to the skin and create a deeper color for your contour. Contour is one of my favorite things on my face for makeup, so I always make sure that I get like a nice deep color. I just feel like it makes the biggest difference. It shapes my face really well. Make sure to blend. And again, go over any areas that you contoured. And now we have a nice chiseled look. We're going in with blush, so this is just gonna brighten the face. Contour adds warmth and creates a shape, and blush just adds color to the face. So I am using the MAC Melba blush. These aren't as pigmented as I wish they were, so I have to go on with a few coats, but I like to blend that into the contour so we don't have any harsh lines whatsoever. I love this color because it's a neutral shade. It's like a pinky nude, so it looks really nice with everything. Make sure to blend that well into the contour, make it look nice and seamless. Apples of the cheeks and then upwards. Bam. Going in with highlighter, so I'm using the Nicole Guerriero Anastasia Beverly Hills collab. This is an amazing highlighting palette. I'm obsessed with it, especially because I love Nicole. So I'm using my Morphe highlighting brush, and I'm going on my cheekbones and right above the arch of my brow. I'm really mixing it really well so we don't have any like glittery residue. I'm using my NYX liner in Nude Truffle to overline my lips. And we're going in with Giorgio Armani liquid lipstick. So this is like a nice pretty nude. It's very similar to my natural lip color. And I like to just sheer it out with my finger. You can wear it matte or you can opt for a gloss. I love glosses, so we're gonna add a little bit when we're done. I'm just gonna make sure everything's nice and blended and brush away any of our translucent powder, setting powder. So that wraps it up on how to get this look that you could use every single day, and thanks so much for watching. I hope this helped and you learned some fun tricks, and I'll see you next time.